All right, guys, welcome to Crypto Price Alerting, the home for the average investor. Yes, us, the average investor, everyday Joe Schmoes and Jane Does. No! Bitcoin has been consolidating in this descending channel over the last couple of weeks. And after getting a scary move to the downside, we are now trading back up inside the range. In fact, we have now broken above this descending line of resistance right here. So in my opinion, this is a very significant move that could potentially be a signal that the price is ready to move back to the top side of this descending channel right here. But in the case that it does, it could actually reach all the way up, back up to 71.5 thousand. However, before I can really call for this to happen, I would really like to see a daily candle close above this descending line of resistance right here. Now, another bullish signal that has confirmed since yesterday is that actually the break of this downward sloping trend line on the RSI momentum indicator. This is, in my opinion, a very significant signal because we have been in this descending line of resistance right here ever since the top at 73,000 up there. So now, at least in the short term, we've broken above this level of resistance right here, potentially also signaling a reversal in the Bitcoin price and potentially the price going all the way up. Well, going up to the upside. But before the price is ready to start testing the all-time highs again, there are some levels of resistance in between this. So now let's take a look at the short-term support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. Now, us zooming in on this 4-hour time frame, recently we got a perfect bounce from this level of support, which was setting from about 56,000.4 thousand all the way up to 58,000. All right. And in fact, we already since yesterday went above this previous level of resistance right here, which has now been flipped into the support. Now the next level of support below this current price is from about 62.4 thousand all the way down to 60,000. So now let's move on to some levels of resistance. First of all, we could expect some short-term resistance right here, right at about 64,000. But in case we do start to trade higher, get a bounce and trade higher, well, the next big level of resistance is from about 65,000 all the way up to 66,000 US dollars, guys. So lastly, for the short-term support and resistance, one important to keep an eye on is this descending channel. See? Because right here, you can see that we broke above this descending trend line on the 4-hour time frame. And in the case that we get a breakout, plus we get a retest, well then potentially it could go up higher, all right? We can break in through some previous levels of some short-term resistance. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow chart for today. So we got some very important news happening in the Bitcoin ETFs. Look, the day before yesterday, after getting many days of outflows, we got a massive inflow of about $378 million worth of Bitcoin that was bought on Friday. So on the left side, you see all of the different ETFs buying, but the most significant one is actually this Grayscale, $63 million buy from Grayscale. As you can see right here in this article, Grayscale, right? This is Grayscale's first inflow after getting billions and billions of outflows of dollars since they launched in January. But if you take a look here, in total, they have seen about $17.5 billion worth of outflows in the Bitcoin ETF since it started trading in January. But now with the $63 million inflow, this is their largest inflow day since the ETF started trading. Okay, that's Grayscale. So if we do see this trend continue of large net buying pressure coming from these Bitcoin ETFs, likely it will send the price much, much higher. So I'm going to keep you up to date on Bitcoin ETF, because these are like fundamental analysis, right? Fundamental analysis is what the stocks and the outside world is doing that affects crypto. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. All right, now first of all, on the 3-day time frame, you can see that we took out massive liquidity to the upside right here, right? Where the yellow lines is. This is why we look at these liquidity levels. You should look at it every day, because typically the Bitcoin prices get attracted to where there's the most liquidity on this heat map chart. So where there's the most yellow lines areas on this chart, and right now, guys, if we go to the 3-day time frame, on the 3-day time frame, we see most of the liquidity is to the downside, with day levels of liquidity from about 62.3 thousand all the way down to 57,000. You see all this liquidity, all this yellow, right? But so don't get fooled by prices going up and everything in the short term, because yes, there's a lot of liquidity binding up below the price that it is right now. And if you go to the 1-week chart, you see something similar. So we're going to zoom out. Look, you see that there's a lot of liquidity down, piling up down here at 57,000. However, the strongest liquidity is in fact to the upside, with about $700 million worth of shorts will get liquidated if this price reaches 64.8 thousand. And once you zoom even further out to the 1-month time frame, now the picture becomes more clear of the momentum of Bitcoin, because you see by far most of the liquidity is on the upside, right? Again, with a lot of liquidity right here at 67.4 thousand, that bright yellow line. So overall, most of the liquidity in the long run is to the upside. So it's more likely that we are going to eventually go to the upside. However, a situation like this where we have liquidity to the upside here and to the downside, that I would say make sure you keep an eye on the technical indicators that I'm going to teach y'all how to put on your charts, like the key support and resistance levels. Because in the case that the price starts to break down below key levels of support right here, in that case, you can expect the price to go lower, all right, attracted to the liquidity, right? So I'm going to teach you how to set up your Fibonacci's, how to set up your fear and greed, how to set up your RSI momentums, right? So the technicals, this is the technicals. So we're going to combine the fundamentals, what's happening outside of crypto, and the technicals, right? Because the technicals is what you're going to watch to see the movement of Bitcoin every day, and then predicting where it could go so that you don't make a mistake and not cash out or not buy in, because that's going to affect your altcoins. All right, now let's take a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame. You can see recently Ethereum got rejected at about $4,000 for the Ethereum price at the 0.786 Fibonacci level, after which then we traded to the downside and we lost this support level at the 0.618 Fibonacci level on ETH. And after that, we've been just ranging and consolidating between the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci levels. So now we got to take a look at the short-term support and resistance levels for Ethereum, so we can get a better understanding of what you guys can expect in the short term. So zooming in on a 1-hour time frame for Ethereum, you can see that recently we had this ascending triangle pattern, which did break out to the upside, right? But confirming this price target right here at about 3180 for the price of Ethereum. And as you can see, we got a nice move to the upside for Ethereum of about a 5% move to the upside. So that was good for us, guys. So for those who took a leveraged trade for anywhere close to the breakout, they would have got a nice profit, on that trade, right? But we don't want to be doing no leverage trades, no margin, because that's for more advanced traders. So I would say stay away from the leverage. I'm gonna teach y'all about leverage and margin on this channel. We're gonna teach y'all, but you can lose a lot of money. Okay, you can make a lot of money, but if you be on the wrong side of where the chart goes on your leverage, you can owe a lot of money. Okay, so just spot trade, just regular trade the money that you have until we get you more advanced in trading. All right, so now for the short-term support and resistance levels for Ethereum, you can see that below the current price, there's a big level of support from about $3,000 all the way down to $2,850 level. And this corresponds perfectly to the 0.5 on the Fibonacci level. So in my opinion, this is a big level of support. However, in the case that it starts to go to the upside, the next big level of resistance is pretty close to the current price right now, from like 31.50 right there to about 32.50 for the price of ETH. All right. So now let's take a look at Solana, guys. On a weekly time frame, you can see that recently we've also got rejected from the 0.78 cents Fibonacci level, just like Ethereum did. And then after Solana lost support at the 0.618 Fibonacci, it dropped down, see, to the next support, to the support to the 5 Fibonacci level, where we found some support, and now it looks like it's potentially reversing back to the upside. So now we're going to take a look at the short-term support and resistance level, so we'll know what to expect for Solana. So zooming in on a 4-hour time frame for Solana, you can see that right now we are traded in a big level of resistance from about $140 all the way to about $150. That indicates that we clear. In the case that we clear that level of resistance and start going further up, we can face some short-term resistance right here at about $160, right? And then if we get above that, the next level of resistance is about from $166 until about $171 for the price of Solana. However, at the same time, guys, I wanted you to take note, this trend line right here indicates, just in case we see a breakdown to the downside from this trend line, likely we might get some bearish price action, or it might just consolidate and cool off, right? So that's something to pay attention to, whether it consolidate or drops. In case that we do drop to the downside, the next big level of support below the current price of Solana is actually right here, from about $133 to about $124 for the price of Solana. And one other thing to note, guys, on a 4-hour time frame is that the relative strength momentum index is getting kind of close to reaching overbought territory. And now what I'm teaching y'all, when that happens, then there's limited room for it to go up. So usually you'll see a little bit of a pullback or some sideways consolidation for that RSI to start going back down and reset to around this 50 level. Okay, and if you zoom in even further to the 1-hour time frame, you can see that, look, it's already up in the overbought range. We've already reached it, right? So now you can see that the price seems, as it reached overbought territory, it started to pull back a little, right? And that gives it the momentum. It gives it the momentum to reset the RSI back to around the 50 level, to give it room. But either way, as long as we hold this trend line to the upside, more than likely it's probably going to go higher. But it's always dependent on what Bitcoin actually does in the short term. Because in the case that we get a base from the level of support on Bitcoin, and we get a bounce and go up to the upside, then Solana and ETH will definitely go higher. And if we lose the support on Bitcoin and start trending to the downside, then of course ETH and Solana is going to go lower in the short term, right? But this is not financial advice from us, guys. I'm simply telling you my technical analysis, my opinion, and take it as you may, okay? So we will be teaching you how to get your fundamental analysis, your technical analysis, how to set up your indicators on your chart, your Fibonacci and all that, your fear and greed and everything, so that you can be able to monitor Bitcoin every day and what it do and what it can do according to technicals, and then also according to fundamental analysis. You can keep your trading strategy and your portfolio so that you monitor it every day, so you're not caught in these fluctuations, and you can be ahead and know kind of if Bitcoin is doing this and what your RSI is doing, that could determine what your altcoins and meme coins do in your portfolio. All right, I'll see you on the next video. This is not financial advice, guys. Remember, love the Most High, y'all. We out. Lego.